Simon Ekpa is looking like a bigger threat than what IPOB represents. And when I was reading about IPOB, I'm like, these people should realize that Simon Ekpa is asking the people to celebrate Biafra heroes from 29th to the 31st. IPOB only asked for 1 day. That's May 30, which is the day that over the years they had celebrated the Biafran heroes. But Simon Ekpa is saying no. It has to be from the 29th to the 31st. That is a threat on its own that we have to deal with. A map
must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Biafrans, we can never be Nigerians. Ever Biafra, never Nigeria. Oh Biafra, our own land. Oh Biafra, our own land. We are Biafrans. We can never be Nigerians. Ever Biafra, never Nigeria. Oh Biafra, our own land. Oh Biafra, our own land. We are Biafrans. We can never be Nigerians. Ever Biafra, never Nigeria. Oh Biafra, our own land. Oh Biafra, our own land. We are Biafrans. We can never
must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Hello, this is Brigitte Gabriel. Thank you, Israel, for doing the world a favor and eliminating the total leadership of Hezbollah, the most lethal terrorist organization in the world today. Israel eliminated those who killed our Marines in Lebanon and committed and organized terrorist attacks on our American interests across the world. Those who America has been looking for decades and unable to find or take out despite the millions of dollars of bounty on their heads. Thank you, Israel, on behalf of Lebanese in Lebanon and around the world, who would never dare come out publicly and thank you. On their behalf, I thank you. I am receiving thousands of messages on my social media from Lebanese rejoicing in and out of Lebanon at the hope that they can take their country back and build it again to be what it once was, Paris of the Middle East, before Hezbollah destroyed it. Hezbollah is a terrorist domestic organization funded by Iran, who is in complete control of Lebanon. Lebanon has not had a president for 2 years because Hezbollah does not want a Christian president in the country. They have terrorized the Lebanese people of all faith, especially the Christians. And before you start commenting on this video saying how much did AIPAC pay you to say this, let me make something very clear. AIPAC has never paid me a dime. They have never even invited me to speak at their conference or any of their meetings. The Israeli government doesn't pay me a dime. I speak out the way I do because of my conviction and my life experience. I remember a time when we lived in peace, Israelis and Lebanese of South Lebanon together. I used to drive my car to work between Lebanon and Israel. I had a home in Israel where I lived in Jerusalem during the week, and I would go back to Lebanon on the weekend to visit my parents in Marjayoun. We had the good fence where many Lebanese went to work in Israel daily. South Lebanon prospered. We used to take our friends visiting from Beirut in their Lebanese cars to Israel and visit Haifa, Tel Aviv, and Jerusalem. Many Lebanese married into Israel and vice versa. We even had a Lebanese consulate in Jerusalem, in Migdalay Megiddo, facing the Knesset, where I spent many evenings in 1984 and 1985. We had hope of peace plans because of the talks between the Lebanese and Israel at the time, until the founding of Hezbollah, where the whole country went downhill. A lot of Lebanese today live in Israel, who were driven out by Hezbollah, fearing for their lives, Christians, Muslims, and Druze. Since then, Lebanon had a brain drain as Hezbollah drove the Christians out, just like Europe had a brain drain after they drove their Jews out in World War II. Lebanon traded their innovators, their business builders, their professionals for bomb makers, glorified terrorists, and hate-driven monsters. Many people tell me, why don't you go back? Because Hezbollah wants my head on a platter. My only crime is that I want peace with Israel. Many Lebanese of all faith do not want war with Israel. We want peace. We want prosperity. We want to raise our children together, to grow up and love and accomplish and build and turn the Middle East into paradise. Lebanese leaders, I am calling on you now. Now is the time to seize the opportunity and make peace with Israel. Take back your country. I am calling on all Lebanese leaders and influencers across the world to come together. Let's do it. If Jordan, Egypt, UAE, and many others in the Middle East can have peace with Israel, why can't Lebanon? Now is the time. Contact me at info@brigittegabriel.com if you would like to be a part of this historic movement for peace. Let's make history together and bring peace to Lebanon. Thank you.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government. of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
It is evident that Nigeria has been on a suicidal slide and seated on a time bomb. And now they want to turn Biafraland to their refugee camp. I welcome the Prime Minister to the stage as he addresses the recent happenings that seeks the attention of the Biafran government. Prime Minister, His Excellency Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, welcome to the stage, sir.
Greetings, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're listening from, fellow Biafrans all over the world. I welcome every one of you to this emergency space this afternoon from our location. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press that are listening from your various locations. Whenever the need arises for us to address the Biafra people and keep them informed on the current affairs as the Biafra liberation, the declaration of the restoration of independence state of Biafra comes close and closer. Today, I have come to this space to once again give a warning to the Nigeria terrorist state and the representative in Biafra land who want to turn Biafra land into refugee and IDP camp, to understand that for the fact that the Biafra government has sacrificed everything to make Biafra land a peaceful, secured place in the entire Niger area, does not give them the audacity to begin to import terrorists because they have failed to use them, those of them in the military and police, to infiltrate our land. As the Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra resistance fighters are engaging them head on. Today, Biafra land has become the most safest place in Niger area. And these people who have not provided enabling environment for our people, they have castigated every effort of the Biafra government. They have used propaganda to pilot how Biafra land is not safe, how insecurity is everywhere. And today, we have seen the reality on ground that Biafra land is the only place where they see that is a secure place for them to import internally displaced so-called people from the northern Nigeria into Biafra land. I have come this afternoon to inform them that Biafra land is not yet secured for any refugee, for any IDP camp from northern Nigeria or from anywhere else. We have not secured our land. Our land will become secured only when Biafra have a total control on Biafra territory, and of course, when we have regained our independence and control our land without any infiltrator from the Nigeria terrorist army and police, then it is only then Biafra land will become safe for refugees. For now, anybody coming to Biafra land, your security is not guaranteed. Wherever you are going to stay in Imo State, in Abia State, in Enugu State, or any part of Biafra land, as long as we are still under Nigeria, where Nigeria continue to perpetrate these crimes against the people, indigenous people, you are not safe in Biafra land. And so, I am warning on behalf of the Biafra government, whoever that is involved in pushing the so-called internally displaced people, which are terrorists, as far as we are concerned, we can never trust anything from Nigeria. So northern Nigeria has been overrun by terrorists sponsored by the Nigeria state for only one agenda called Islamic agenda. And today, people are being moved from northern Nigeria to Biafra land that they hate with passion. And as they are moving them from the ancestral land to Biafra land, according to them, remember that strangers have already occupied their land. Ask yourself, who are those occupying the land of the people that today have found or are looking for a safe haven in Biafra land? That Biafra land the system Manekpa is destroying. That Biafra land they told you that Biafra army have destroyed. That Biafra land they told you that Samonekpa is bringing in security. They have found safe haven and security in that same Biafra land. What is that? What does that tell you? It tells you that we have defeated Nigeria. It tells you that the Biafra government have succeeded in making Biafra land the only secure place in the entire Nigeria area. And the only agenda and the only motive they have is to continue to push for the destruction of Biafra land. Since they have not succeeded in using their military uniform and police to destroy our land, they now want to use the people they called internally displaced. There are places in Yoruba land, there are enough land in Yoruba land, there are enough land in Lagos. Lagos is secured. We are calling on them. The so-called president today is from Yoruba land. So Yoruba land is secured. They must move these people to Yoruba land or to other parts of Nigeria where they believe they have control over. Because Biafra land is not safe for them. I am telling you the fact. We can never guarantee any security of anybody from northern Nigeria in the name of coming to seek refugee. It is not yet time for you to come to Biafra land to seek refuge. We will grant you refugee. We will grant you asylum in accordance with international law. We will give you asylum protection only and only when Biafra become an independent state. At this point, we are in the state of war with the Nigeria terrorist state. Just the reason why they have chased you out of your ancestral land is the reason men have risen up in Biafra land and they are armed. All of you from northern Nigeria that are looking for safe haven in Biafra land, I want to inform you that our men are paying the price that will make our women not to leave their ancestral land and move to ADP camp. Men are dying for it. And for that reason, it is not yet time for us to allow anybody or any infiltrator from any part of Nigeria or from any part of the world to come to our land and live freely while people are dying and fighting the same government that has made your life miserable in your own country and your own nation and your own state. This particular emergency space today is to call the attention of whoever that is involved in this threat against Biafra people to understand that we will resist you in the morning, we will resist you in the afternoon, we will resist you in the night. And that facility that they say is a place where they are going to be staying and learn. I am telling you the fact, it is going to raise down. We will raise it down. You will come back to Biafra land when we have become an independent state, recognized by the United Nations. We are not going to be distracted by this shambolic love that these invaders and enablers in our land are trying to show. They never love you. I want those who have actually been deceived by their propaganda that Simon Ekpa is destroying Biafra land to ask yourself question. Is it not the same Biafra land Simon Ekpa is destroying that they want to now, that they have found to be the only safest place for people in the northern Nigeria, displaced people in northern Nigeria to come and live? It is not going to be possible. We are not going to say that we will not accept refugees when the time comes, but I'm just telling you today that now is not the right time for any person to come to Biafra land in the name of refugee. We do not have that particular atmosphere. We do not have that particular conducive environment. We do not have that secured environment for you who have been displaced in northern Nigeria to come with your hate and your terrorism to our land at this point. It is not going to be accepted by us, and we are going to resist it. So what I'm trying to say today is that those coming to Biafra land, your security of life and property will never ever be guaranteed. Not by the Nigeria state, not by the Biafra government. You're on your own. And whatever you see, you take. Do not blame anybody. This warning goes to whoever that is involved, the enablers in our land, Hope Uzodimma and his group, to understand that you know what we can do. And you know what we have been doing. If you think you are going to take this warning for granted, let them come. And the rest will be history. Thank you very much. I want everybody to ask very relevant questions, especially those who have been doubting our resolve in securing Biafra land. Today, your eyes should be open. That among all the states in Nigeria, it is the Biafra land that they say is insecure, Simon Ekpa have destroyed, is the only place they found secure to bring northern displaced people to have a refugee and have training in Biafra land. That is completely unacceptable. We are going to accept them when they have gone through our screening, which is going to be introduced by only Biafra government, and we are going to ascertain that the people coming are not terrorists. We will give them refugee status. We'll give them protection in accordance with international law. But at this point, anybody coming from northern Nigeria will be regarded as a terrorist. You never liked us. You hate us with impunity, and we will never ever accept you. So until Biafra become an independent state, we are in the state of war. And I hope you understand what is going on. So we urge those who are being deceived to understand that if you come to Biafra land, believe me, your security will never ever be guaranteed. And because we love human life, we respect life and dignity of people, and we want to put this warning ahead of time, because we are never going to sacrifice or compromise our own security for the security of anybody. The security of Biafra women and children is the utmost priority of the Biafra government, and we're not going to compromise that in order to be called good people, or in order to be people to praise us or anything. No, we don't need your praise. We don't need your acknowledgement. Our only responsibility as a government of Biafra is to make sure that our women will not be looking for a place to go and seek refuge in the southern Nigeria, in Yoruba land, or in the northern Nigeria, or in Middle Belt. We will make sure our women will be protected in our land, in Biafra land, and we are not going to leave our ancestral land for anybody. That particular agenda has been achieved by the Biafra government using the Biafra Liberation Army resistance fighters and all Biafra armed group that has made it possible that our land is today a secured place for people to even think of coming to build any facility for training internally displaced people in the northern Nigeria. Isn't that a very awkward situation?
must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
If Eastern Nigeria was forced out of the Federation, the West will have no option but to follow suit. These were the words of Awolowo. On 5th May 1967, a private National Conciliation Committee headed by Chief Obafemi Awolowo visited the Eastern Nigeria, which was Biafra under the auspices of the governor, Ojukwu, the general. A large number of the Eastern Nigerian leaders of the Biafran extract were present. Ojukwu and the people of the Eastern region received Awolowo and his entourage very well, warmingly. Awolowo assured Ojukwu of Western Nigeria's support after another inner office meeting was held. Awolowo abruptly discontinued communications with General Ojukwu when he was about to join Gowon's government as his deputy and commissioner for finance. Then later in 12 August 1967, Chief Obafemi Awolowo came out publicly and unequivocally in support of the federal government of Nigeria, contrary to the Biafran expectations, which he had given his words to General Ojukwu and his men, and called on Yorubas to ignore Biafran appeals for cooperation. This decision paid off and put Chief Awolowo with the entire Yorubas in a strong and unsalable position with the Nigerian federal government of the zoo. I bring you warm greetings to the Biafran people listening from all over the globe. Our good and our loving nature has done us bad and worst for years. And gone are those days that we are perplexed by whatever promises that people give us. We are at war. And so it is not time to marry anyhow with any kind of moves or cheery pattern of negotiations that people bring on the table. I salute the existence of my eternal leader. I salute the existence of my supreme leader. I salute the existence of the former president of Biafra. I salute the existence of the likes of Kaduna and Zogo and all his courageous men who took their stand to see that there was a coup to safeguard the lives of everyone in the Nigerian contraption, which was later turned against the Biafran people. I salute the existence of all the heroes and heroines of our time and of time past. I salute the existence of my Prime Minister, every Biafran and the entire government of Biafra today. You are all honored and cherished for your good work. I thank all Biafrans who are making sure the watches of Biafra is not right, making use of their financial support to give all they have. Your contributions and donations have made it all possible this far, and we applaud you for your unwavering support, and we ask you to do more because we need more and we have more to do. Because all the arrays of enemies have risen against the Biafran people, and we have to open our arms very wide to expect more and do more so that we can win the task ahead of us. Yes, Awolowo did his own, and went back to enjoy with one Nigeria. Iransi came and wanted a reunification degree that will please the Northern Caliphate and the Northern terrorists at the expense of the lives of the Biafran people. Today we are in a different phase, but the phase is not too different compared to the side of the coin and the weight of the coin that it is being used. Exactly what you saw that happened in those days is what they want to do again in this very time. When you listen to the video that the Senate plenary sat down and said, Mr. President of the Senate, if we do not do something to stop Simon Ekpa, the entire one Nigerian youth and people will be convinced by every of his ideology and dealings that Nigeria is finished. I want you people to understand something. That they make the move today that they want to deploy or relocate the IDP camps of the terrorists, the rehabilitation camps of the terrorists, whatever camp that they call it. All we want Biafrans to understand is that one Nigeria, through the Senate, have made a plan after where you saw from that video where they said, Mr. President of the Senate and every senator, if we do not devise a means of demeaning Simon Ekpa and Biafra, the entire Nigerian people will be convinced and come to the acknowledgement that Nigeria is finished, that Simon Ekpa has destroyed Nigeria and that Biafra is here. So the fear of Biafra coming to be, the fear of every Nigerian acknowledging the fact that Nigeria is destroyed and that it is time to acknowledge Biafra, the fear of facing the reality of the restoration of Biafra, the fear of seeing the declaration of Biafra in Finland come 2nd 2024 of December, the fear of seeing a new Biafra restored and emerge, the fear of the sovereignty of Biafra, the fear of Biafra standing and dominating one Nigerian terrorist is what has made them come up with whatever they are coming up. This is another method of warfare. It is a weapon of warfare. Remember that America and UK that you hear of today, they use a chickenpox infested blanket on the indigenous people that were seeking for their freedom. That is a weapon of warfare. That is a method of warfare. And then the blockade of the air, land, and sea during the time of the Biafran genocidal war was another weapon and method of warfare. The dropping of propaganda leaflets inside the land of Biafra during the war of the genocide against the Biafran people, carried out by one Nigerian terrorist government supervised by Britain and all their allies. This was another method of warfare. The creation of new states in the Biafran region in the middle of the war, done by Gowon with the templates given to them by British Empire, was a weapon of warfare, and it is another method of warfare. The propaganda and the blackmails and the lies against the Biafran people, that the Biafran people and the Biafran government are the ones killing themselves, destroying Biafra land, is another method of warfare. That we have destroyed Biafra land and that Biafra land is not habitable, that Biafra land is not secured, that Biafra land is in the hands of kidnappers and terrorists, is another method of propaganda and blackmail, and a method and a weapon of warfare that is being used to dwindle your strength and your power and your support and your courage and your tenacity and consistency in the Biafran restoration cause. I want everyone to understand all this and understand that whatever is coming now is part of what one Nigeria has to look for and implement to see that Biafran cause, Biafran restoration and declaration is truncated at one end. They want to do some things that they will give a dog a bad name, and then at the end of the day, they say it is not what they said it was. I want you to get the point very well. Everything, the propaganda, the blackmail, the attack that you will be saying that will be coming from left, right, center is part of the method and the weapon of warfare that one Nigeria has to implement at this very time. Remember that Nigerian government and their terrorists works hand in hand, and they can never, never save you. I want you to listen to this video again and then understand my point very well. They sat down at the Senate. They had a plenary session. They had to think of and devise something that they have to do to make sure that the Nigerian people and the entire Biafran people do not come to the acknowledgement or accept the fact that Nigeria is finished and that Biafra is winning. Now, it should be on record that over 50 million Biafrans have casted their vote and given their support for Biafra to be declared. For a government in exile to garner their support and supremacy, you need support from your home country, from where you are actually fighting for the independence to be restored. That is the number one support that you need. Then you now go to international, which is diplomatic. And we have done what? We have garnered this support already as a prerequisite from the Biafran people who have voted over 50 million and given their vote for Biafra to be restored and to destroy the existing one Nigeria, which is a contraption that has been created to destroy human lives for years. And to this very note, having gotten the commitment and the support and the go-ahead of the Biafran people with over 50 million votes, we are now going over to the international community for political and diplomatic support and engagement and recognition, international recognition. We have gotten the recognition from the Biafran people, which we are fighting for. And one Nigerian government are now confessing and have confessed severally that the Biafran government prime minister is hitting them hard and is destroying them, and they are not having a safe haven as they used to have before. So, understanding everything, culminating into them waking up to see that they must bring out a weapon of warfare, a method and a strategy that they have to do what? Create chaos, create one problem or another, or bring in terrorists to come and be like a rehabilitation camp in our own land, so that from there they will spring up more terrorists. You guys should not be bothered about refugee, non-refugee. There is nothing like refugee. It is like you looking at Israel and looking at Russia and Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine are at loggerheads at this moment. They are fighting. They don't agree. Then you now see Israel also fighting against the Hamas terrorists. And then you now see that the Hamas terrorist government are now bringing the Hamas children in disguise and women to come over to Israel to come and seek refuge. It is not done anywhere. Then you now look at Russia and Ukraine, and then you now see Russians sending their women and children to go over to Ukraine to tell the Ukrainian army for them to give refuge to the women and children of Russia. It is not done anywhere, because anything that is given to you when you are at war in the name of refuge, it is a weapon of war. Yes. It is human shield. It is weapon of war. They are bringing it to set as a trap, because amongst all the women sent down, amongst all the children and men and babies, they are going to use them as suicide bombers. They are ready to use them. Yes. Okay, tell me, let me explain something. If over 500 children, women and babies and men are sent over from Russia military units down to Ukraine, and then they now stock bombs inside their bellies. This also applies to maybe Hamas sending these children or babies and women over to Israel, and then they stock bombs in their bellies. And then they send these children or babies over to Israel, or Russia now send over to Ukraine, or Ukraine now send over to Russia, or Israel now send over to Hamas or to Ebola. And then on sending them, before sending them, they have already set bombs in their belly. And they are ready to sacrifice these people that they have set bombs in their belly to explode and bomb the other territory. When they send them over, you now accept them. You don't accept those kind of refugees in time of war. No, because anybody is a weapon. Anything that comes inside when you are at war is a weapon of warfare. No, you don't. Okay, let us say the commander-in-chief, with his ignorance and using woman mind, wants to be politically correct and wants to act like a church pastor. He now say, oh, let us accept the babies and children. They are babies, so they are children. Oh, we have to save the lives of babies and children. The people that set them have already planted bomb in their bodies, and they use them as sacrifice to come and destroy all of you. They now accept them and then put them. They put them in one place that is as big as this, and they take them to a very strategic point that if any bomb is detonated at that place, it will destroy the entire pillars that will bring down the walls of Jerusalem. By the time you accept them and harbor them there, keep them there, give them food, the bomb that has been set in their body is not to detonate in one day. The bombs may be set to detonate and for them to start doing their work in 3 weeks. So as you bring them the first week, no signs of any threat, everybody will be going peacefully, people will be taking care of them, moving them around, giving them the rehabilitation nonsense that you call it. There will be no signs. Second week, nothing. Third week, nothing. After 1 month, when it is time, the people that planted the bomb in them don't need to come down there to come and click the button for the bombs to start exploding. They have to stay back in the camp where they had planted all the electronic devices in their body. When it is time, they tell them where to go. They will go. They will press one button remotely from where they are, and then the entire place that they had been sent to will explode. They have used their body as a suicide bomber, with the bomb implanted inside of them to explode and destroy that entire place. At the end of the day, you have lost over 1 million people because of trying to be sympathetic and empathetic to the side of a terrorist that you are fighting against in the name of trying to be politically correct and in the name of trying to be a pastor and in the name of trying to be a very good man. No, we don't want to be that kind of good man. It was because of the fact that the Yorubas were to be slaughtered, the Middle Beltans were to be slaughtered. The Nigerian federal government gave orders to the federal military officers, those that were majorly of the Biafran extract, and told them they should go and shoot and waste the Yorubas, and also told them they should go and shoot and waste the Middle Beltans. And then these federal military personnel that were of the Biafran extract serving in the Nigerian terrorist army as at then told them no, they cannot carry out this kind of act. It is injustice against humanity. That they were not trained to go and kill unarmed civilians. That they were trained to go and engage terrorists. That is coming against the territorial integrity of the country. So because they refused, they decided to court-martial them. And then the same order were given to the northern Foolani terrorists, soldiers that were of the military. And they carried this out with immediate effect. So that is to tell you that this jihad mindset is something that is in them. Their own no be to save life. Their own is to destroy. Their own is to kill. Their own is to mend. Their own is to cut off. Their own is to destroy. While your own is to save. So because of the fact that our federal military personnel of the Biafran extract that were serving in the Nigerian federal military government saw that what is coming ahead to consume everybody in this one Nigeria, they themselves cannot stand to allow it to happen. That the entire Yoruba people and the Middle Beltans will be wiped off. A coup was enacted to be carried out. That is the reason why the coup of January 15, 1966 was carried out. It was not a coup for the Igbos. It was not a coup for the Biafrans. It was a coup that was to prevent genocide and massacre that was already hyped and planned to eliminate the Yorubas and the Middle Beltans and the entire people in one Nigeria. But a particular set of people that saw the need to carry out a coup to truncate this decided to take courage and to carry it out, because they were first-handedly told to go and kill the same Yorubas and the Middle Beltans, and they refused. So, because of them trying to do good, to save the lives of every other person in one Nigeria, the barrel of the gun was later shifted and turned against the Biafran people. That is how you got to understand that Biafran people later became the prime target of one Nigeria, while the ongoing genocide in the Biafran region was happening. Every other part of one Nigeria were enjoying in economy, in sports, in education, in businesses, and in everything that was going on. Do you get the point now? So anyone that is from the Biafran region happen to be endangered species to one Nigeria. Because of the good that we tried to do with the coup that was to save the lives of everyone in one Nigeria. Do you understand the point? So in today, the Biafran government is not ready to accept anything in disguise as refugees who we know quite well that they are terrorists that are to be deployed to Biafra land. They said we are destroying Biafra land. No? They said insecurity has ravaged Biafra land. Now, look at this one. Where is the idiot? Look at this idiot here. This idiot here said, your sit at home is triangulating southeast, chasing away investors. Abaribe tells Simon Ekpa. Now, the same Abaribe today is seated in the Senate, and they plan unanimously, and then they accepted and adopted a memo that they should come to Biafra land, devise a means, devise a strategy of making sure that the activity of the Biafran government is not allowed to go the way it is supposed to go. I want you all to listen here. Listen to it here so that you get my point very well.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order.
Now, you have just listened to this Ewu Biafra, because this man that just spoke now is Ewu Biafra. He's from Biafralands. So when you look and check out the people that will raise some motion against Biafra in the National Assembly, it is the Ewus that they have given to us. Some of the Ewus that they have given to us to be there in the National Assembly, they are the people that will raise motions against the Biafran cause, because they know Foolani terrorists does not know us very well. The Foolani terrorists, senators and ministers, they don't know us very, very well. So they will not call them and give them this kind of mandate. They will always call our own and give them the mandate to come and be reading that nonsense script, to tell them what they have to do, how they have to do it. So when you listen to him, he said, Mr. President, we have to do something. If we do not do something, if we do not look for a way possible of blackmailing these people, doing something that will change the narrative, doing something that will change their name and turn their name upside down, doing something within the Biafra land that will make their name to be turned upside. If we do not do something against Simon Ekpa, if we do not do something against these Biafra people, the Nigerian people will be convinced and they will come to the acknowledgement that Nigeria is finished and that the Biafran cause is here to stay. That is why they unanimously came to the agreement that they must do something. And what did they do? What they did was to go and plan of how to bring all the terrorists that they have in the north, bring them down to Biafra land in the name of coming to rehabilitate them, give them a camp, give them a house to stay. You know, the ones that they brought into the forest and the bushes, which they came in the name of Ruga, and then we spotted them out. All the ones that they say they want to use grazing routes to enter, we succeeded in cutting them off from inside our bushes. Now, those ones don't see ways and manners to kill our women and children again and to cut off their heads. Now, they now went and recruited them all back into the Nigerian Army, the Air Force, the Navy, and the police and civil defense, and Ebubagu. That is why you'll be hearing that 500,000, 200,000, 55,000 Boko Haram terrorists have been rehabilitated and reintegrated back into the Nigerian Army. Are you getting the point? And when Musa was asked, how is it going with this reintegration? He said, it's a very good gesture. It's very okay. Because he's part of the people training them, and they bought the idea, and it is helping them to use the terrorists to kill the indigenous people very well, so that they cannot rise up to defend themselves, so that the planned conquest can come to be. So they have tried the Ruga that they now wanted to go through the grazing route, no work. They came with the other one that they say the governors will be giving them lands. And then at the end of the day, they will use their cow to be coming to kill us. We stopped them, you know what? Now, they now came to regroup with the Nigerian Army terrorists in uniforms and the Air Force and police. Then, Biafran government declared operation, no checkpoint, operation, nobody in military uniform or any uniform of one Nigeria in Biafra land carrying gun. We say, if we see anything like that, you are persona non grata in Biafra land. That means you are done with. Now, they have now decided to come with a different pattern, because when you listen to this man in the Senate, he said, Mr. President, if we do not do something, if we do not re-strategize, if we do not think of what to do, this Biafran cause will come to a reality. Simon Ekpa will have his way and will become fully known by every Nigerian that Nigeria is gone. But we have to do something. We have to think of a way of what to do. So this time, human Ruga is what they want to do. They want to bring people. You see, when you look at the video that they showed on that, was it TCV or AIT or NTA or Arise or Channel Television, they went and showed you where you see computers inside the hall. They showed you the very big hall. They show you the environment to be very nice and good. I want to ask many of you that are schooling in Biafra land, does your school have a computer laboratory? Does your school have a computer laboratory that has the capacity of containing over 100 participants in that hall? Does your school have a computer laboratory? It's a very pertinent question and very simple one. Does your school have a computer laboratory which the federal government of Nigeria has put for you to study and to enhance your vocabulary in computer science? Does federal government of Nigeria, does the state government of Nigeria provide computer laboratories to you to study and to become something? No. You have to find a way to get your laptop to study your thing. What they teach you is theoretical. You are the one to look for a way to practicalize what you have. But you want to go for extramural classes to where they now do computer in-depth study. You have to buy your computer, you have to go there and then learn and to get in-depthly. School only give you theory. They say the Nigerian authority cannot supply computer, they cannot give you a lab, e-lab. So you have to go and find a way. But do you see what they showed you? they showed you something enticing and something that will do what? Deceive the people. Convince them to believe that, oh, this lab is computer lab. Oh, this place is going to be used for what they are claiming. It is a fat lie. You know when lie, fat. So when you bust that, now those shit go full everywhere. So there is nothing like that is coming. What these people are trying to do is what they have sat down to devise inside the Senate, to bring a method of warfare, a weapon of warfare, just like they use the food blockade, the land A and C, just like they use chicken pox infested blanket on human beings, just like they crush the testicles of human beings. These are all done by Britain. Just like they use us as slaves, just like they sold us out in exchange of gold and diamond and bronze and even mirror. When they came, they used mirror to show to our parents and told them that they are seeing themselves in another man's world. So when they look through themselves through the mirror, just to show them they have to use one of us in exchange for slave trade, where they collect the money. They sell us out. They deceive you guys. They deceive our grandfathers. So in this very dispensation, they think that the brains of the children or the youth of these days are so obsolete as before. No, it is not done. So we want the entire Biafran people to understand that the reason why one Nigerian terrorist government has devised a means of bringing the Fulani terrorists in disguise in the name of vulnerable or displaced persons or people from IDP camps to come and settle in Biafra land is because of the firepower of the Biafran government. They want to use it as a weapon of warfare to weaken our resolve, to see that when we give in, yes, understand the point, if we give in to their plea, they will use it to destroy us. It is a weapon of warfare. And you know the Biafran government that we have, you know the prime minister that we have, we are not giving in to such because we understand the game. We anticipate what they are planning before they even come out. That is why, as they just dropped the news, the prime minister was live on air to put it where it should belong. So they should go and group and plan and continue to come. They will get it woto. Is it not the same Biafra land that they said we are destroying? They said we are destroying Biafra land. They said we are chasing away investors. They said they sit at home is making us to strangulate the economy of the East. So why are you people now bringing people to a place that you say is a low life, a place that you say is not useful, a place that you say is unworkable, a place that you say is not productive? Abaribe, that raised the motion with the other idiot that you saw before, they have gone back because they said, Mr. President, the Senate, we have to devise a means, we have to think, we have to plan of what to do to make sure that this Biafra government of a thing, this Simon Ekpa is not allowed to promote this Biafra so much and to go far. But you know what? The more they make moves to try to downplay Biafra, to try to demean Biafra, to try to destroy what we are doing, the more they are giving us popularity and gaining more support. The more they are giving us popularity and the more we are gaining more support from the Biafran people. Those that told you that Biafra should never come, now their eyes will be open and they will ask themselves questions. Why not send these people you say they are vulnerable, they are from IDP camps, they have been chased away and destroyed from their lands by the terrorists? Why don't you send them back to the far north? They said the highest landmarks in one Nigeria is in the north. That is what they told us. So why don't you send them to where you have the highest landmarks? Why are you rather bringing them to where you have a very small land? Is it the Biafra land that we have a very small land that you want to come and see, bring people that have extra much lands in their own place? You want to bring them to come and destroy the very small land that we have? Why has your wickedness gone so much? We are not surprised because we know that you people don't have anything good in stock for us. It is all about wickedness upon wickedness upon wickedness against the Biafran people. And you cannot stop than to plot and to think of more wickedness to bring against the Biafran people. Yes. So the wicked ideology against the Biafran people will always be what we will see from one Nigeria. There is no time the Biafran government, the Biafran people can sit down or should sit down and think of anything good that will be coming from one Nigeria to the Biafran people. It can never happen. No. So we are fully aware that anything that Biafran people will see from one Nigeria tomorrow is something that will destroy Biafrans. You know, when we told them that there is a method in our own madness, they did not understand. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, we will pull all of you down to Biafra land. We will open the front for you. All of you will be coming down to Biafra land. We will buy all of you, woto woto. Yes, with Biafra Liberation Army, we will buy all of you. While we are buying you, and then we set graveyard to all of you, and the vultures will be consuming you, your flanks will be opened up in the far north. And the terrorists will ravage which you created, the terrorists you yourself created in the far north, will take over, continue, and enter, and enter, and enter. Before you now come back from killing Biafrans in Biafraland, which we have already neutralized you, your lands are taken over. Your children, your women, your men will not have a place to stay again. Is it not happening now? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. But everything that is said about this book is happening kodo kodo. We will resist any attempt and any plot by one Nigeria to bring anything in the name of IDP or vulnerable or refugee nonsense into Biafra land. Yes. When you are at war and you are the one that the terrorists are fighting, you don't go and take refugees of the terrorists in your own camp. It is not done. If you do it, you are the most foolish of commanders of all time. It is not done ever. You don't take refugees of the terrorist side from which you are fighting against. Because everything that they are sending to you, they are terrorists in nature. They are weapons of warfare. They are weapons, they are methods of warfare that is coming to destroy you. You may have built a very stronghold, and you may have built a very formidable wall of defense. By the time you fall into the deceit of plea, love and happiness, joy, oh, let us look at the faces of the babies, because they will use the faces of the babies to come for the play. They will use the faces of women to come for the play. By the time you fall for it, the entire people of your own race, of your army, are all gone. I ask you a question. Are you going to use the food that your army personnel are supposed to eat to have strength to fight war, to now start feeding the refugees of the terrorists that you have taken in? Where is it done? It is not done anywhere. Now tell me how the refugees of the terrorists that you take in will now come to sit back and be watching you filing your weapons and going out to go and fight their own kindreds. So these are the things we want people to understand. That anybody that they are sending and bringing into Biafra land in the guise of refugees or vulnerables or they want to come and rehabilitate them or this and that. They are weapons of warfare and they are terrorists themselves. We don't take refugees. We don't take refugees while we are at war. It is not done. And we will not fall for it. And people should not get us wrong. Yes.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
This fear of Simon Ekpa, this fear of Biafra, turning the minds of the Nigerian gullible youth, Nigerian useless youth, for them to see the reality of Biafra and to know that Nigeria is dead, is the reason why they had to go back to go and think of ways and manners and strategies of what they would do to come and destroy Biafra land. They did it to come and destroy Biafra land. All of you that are having the ideology of they want to bring, because I've seen many of you writing that on social media. They want to bring a refugee or IDP and then use it against Simon Ekpa as they do to Joe Ayaba. Please desist from that kind of comment and that kind of statement and ideology. I want you all to desist from it now. Yes, desist from it. You do not go and buy or accept what you see everybody writing there because it is what people are writing. And you want to also write the same thing. And then you want it to become your own ideology. No, do not do it. They want to bring refugee and then use it again. What point are you making from what you're saying? That they want to go and bring refugee and then use it against Simon Ekpa like they did to Show Ayaba. Is it that some of you will just see something written on the social media and then you just go and start copying it and writing it like that? You are the one to accept whether to take refugees or not. You don't take refugees while you are at war. You decide your fate. The United Nations has no power to impose on you. Listen to me. United Nations has no power to impose on you the decision for you to take anybody as vulnerables or refugees against your own wish. Did you hear me very well? United Nations has not come to come and look at the dead bodies of women, baby, and children that have been slaughtered for years. United Nations have not come to intervene on the marginalization that has been happening in your own land for years. United Nations has not come to decide how the money that is borrowed from international community into Nigeria on how to be shared to your own area. Is it this one?
The Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried.
When they borrowed money from international community, they come to share the money. None of the money is shared in parentheses or in equality to the Eastern or the Biafran region. The student loan nonsense that they just did, they did not share it to you in the Biafran region. The humanitarian aid that they did during COVID-19, how many of you were given in the Biafran region? Everything was allotted to the north and to the western part of Nigeria. When they killed and kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafrans, did the United Nations come to decide and tell Nigeria how to do it? When they are killing you and continue to kill you and then you don't stand up to defend yourself, did United Nations come to your aid? This Yochi, you will just go to the media and then you see somebody write something. Hey, they want to bring the vulnerable IDP camps to Biafraland so that when Simon Ekpa accept or reject, they will use it against him just like they did to Dr. Joe Ayaba. You're already counting failure for Joe Ayaba. And you're using it to compare to yourself. Why can't you for once sit down and look for positive results and use it to make comparison for yourself? Why will you go and then say because, oh, that is what they use for Joe Ayaba and that is why they carry Joe Ayaba? Carry Joe Ayaba for what? What crime did he commit? Is it the crime for self-determination? Is it the crime for self-preservation? That I have self-determined and preserved and decided that I want my people to be free. And my people said unanimously they want to be free. They want to be out of Cameroon. They don't want to allow the occupational army to come and pillage them and kill them day in, day out again. If people say they don't want to be here and you are forcing them to be there against their own will, and then they say they need independence, you say no, they must be against their own will. They say they want out, you say no, they must be. What did the United Nations do for you when Nigerian terrorist government do not give you presidency? For how many years? How many Biafran presidents have been president? Forget the one that they are doing, Godswill Akpabio now, that they carry him and put him as the Senate President of Nigeria. It is just a ploy to create confusion and to create more distraction about the Biafran cause. Because they understand quite well, if they do not put Godswill Akpabio there, the concentration of Biafra in the Biafran region where Godswill Akpabio comes from, where some people are giving him reports, would have all been deserted of Nigeria. So that is why you still see Pope Sodima, Dave Umahi, and many of them, Soludo, paying homage and kneeling down to one Nigerian terrorist government. Because they have to carry all of you and put as willing species that are willing to kill your people for Nigeria to continue, carry you and put in some positions and make you to stand there and make noise and say, oh, you are in leadership of Nigeria. You are in charge and you are speaking and you are representing Nigeria. Ask yourself the question, what has United Nations done to you whenever you have been killed and slaughtered? The invasion of Iyamufu, what did United Nations do about it? When Biafrans were killed in Mbo, what did United Nations do about it? When Peter Obi killed Biafrans and dumped them in the Zoo River, what did United Nations do about it? When Biafrans were killed in Port Harcourt when they were just jubilating over the victory of Trump in 2017, what did United Nations do about it? The massacre of Obibo, what did United Nations do about it? Okay, let us come back to the most recent one. Okwama community massacre, that the Nigerian army terrorists are ravaging and killing the youth there. What did United Nations do about it? You guys should not be coming or going about writing nonsense in the comment section in the name of they want to bring IDP camp or vulnerable people, and then when Simon Ekpa reject or do this, they will use it against him as they do to Dr. Shoyaba. What sense are you making from what you're saying? So don't go and do copy and paste and just read something from what people are writing and then you use it to come and connote to what we are saying. Try to analyze and think of what you're saying and see whether it makes sense. What sense does it make? Has United Nations for once stood up to say they should not kill you as a Biafran? Have they even come to look at your dead bodies for once? Have they even gathered your own issue to discuss on the table for once? And you are here talking about United Nations. Who cares about the fucking United Nations? Where they are massacring you and slaughtering you and then you are talking about United Nations. Instead of you to be talking about how you will support yourself and see that you get your freedom. They're talking about United Nations. United Nations, my foot. United Nations aids and abates one Nigerian terrorism. Was it not United Nations officials that were part of the terrorist sect in Hamas when they were coming to kill the Israelis, babies, women, and children in October 7th of 2023? Where were you? You're calling United Nations. So United Nations will just come out today now and say they should come and implement and deploy the vulnerable terrorists in Abuja and Sambisa Forest, Sokoto, Benue, Niger, and bring them to Enugu or bring them to Imo State or bring them to Akwa Ibom or bring them to Calabar. Because you hear that it is United Nations that say, you say, Prime Minister, accept it because this is coming from United Nations. Prime Minister, accept it. If you don't accept it, they will not give you independence. They will not allow you to do this. They will not allow you to. Are you so myopic in nature? Please wake up from your sleep. Wake up. Wake up. We don't kiss people's asses because we don't kiss people's asses because we need their favor. Okay? We stand our ground. United Nations is not the one that will give you independence. It is your stand. It is your defense mechanism. It is your focus and determination and concentration. It is what you do day in, day out that will make them to listen to you. If you do not stand your ground, if you do not resist this weapon of warfare, this method of coming to use to destroy you, and weaken your resolve and weaken your military might, if you do not resist it, that is when United Nations will know that you are not strong. But when you resist it, and they will go back and tell them, they will know, okay, these people are fully ready for what they want. Are you getting the point? So, you guys should disregard all those things that they say, United Nations, United Nations, United Nations, United Nations, my foot. How many of the genocide and violations of over 500 pages that we have submitted to these United Nations nonsense and international communities, which they have against one Nigerian army, one Nigerian government, how many of them have they used against Nigeria? Oh, they want to come and use that we refuse terrorists to be as IDP camps in our lands as our own. You guys should disregard and don't be even mentioning this thing, because when you mention the thing gets me so irritated. It's like you are deviated from what we are doing. It's like you don't understand what we are doing. We are not moved by whatever nonsense people are saying that United Nations will do this. When United Nations want to speak, they should go and start by cleaning their mess, by overlooking and supporting one Nigeria in the genocide that is ongoing in Nigeria. In Niger State, Boko Haram terrorists controls many local governments. In Borno State, Boko Haram terrorists controls many local governments. In Niger, the same. In Kaduna, in Kano, the same. And then in Benue, they are ransacking the communities every day. In Borno, they are in charge. In Sokoto, they are in charge. So are you telling me that when they finish ransack those places, and then they now see that they have ransacked those places and taken it over, they now want to deploy those remnants down to Biafraland for us to come and carry their load? They are not coming as load to us. They are coming as terrorists terrorist handwork that they want to come and use against us, okay?
That if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President,
Understanding this very video and what they are saying here will help you very, very well to understand what Nigerian terrorists are coming to do. Yoruba land is very safe for them to transfer the vulnerable terrorists to. The far north, Abuja, is very safe for them to transfer the vulnerable terrorists to. You see, at this point, some of you should come to understand something. That in Nigeria, there is a refuge dumping camp. So Nigerian terrorist government will always want to use Biafra land as the refuge dumping camp. Now, this is the same Biafra land where they suckle out the oil and gas, which they use to develop the entire Nigeria, to pay the salaries of everybody in Nigeria. Now, they want to destroy the Biafra land. When they exploit the oil and take it out, they don't do any reparations. They don't take care of what they have done on the grounds and the lands of Biafra. They leave it destroyed. Then, we are now the ones, individually, seeking a way and manner of putting things in order so that we can live with the deplorable conditions that they have destroyed our lands due to the exploitations of oil and gas and every other natural resources that are embedded in our lands. Yet, we strive to survive, to make life for ourselves. Yet, we say enough is enough. Yet, there is no development coming from the federal government, and then we say this is the reason why we must have our independent United States of Biafra, so that we can stand separately and know what our problems are, and then fight a common cause. Now, every other places are okay. Yoruba land is okay. Foolani land, which has been conquered, Hausa land which has been conquered by the Fulanis and they now call Fulani land, is okay. They are not sending the vulnerable people or the terrorist remnants down there. They want to now bring the terrorist remnants down to Biafra land as the refuge camp. The refuge, not refugee now, the refuge camp where they come to dump everything that they have wasted. They don't want to take it to Lagos. They don't want to take it to Abuja. They don't want to take it to Kaduna. They don't want to take it to Kano. They cannot take it to EKID. They cannot take it to Okure now. So they have to now bring it to the refuge tank. So Biafra land is the refuge tank. Where they come, they destroy the Biafra land. They exploit everything. They don't repair anything. They destroy their lives. They don't develop anything. They don't give them enabling environment. They don't for them to harness their potentials. They don't give them electricity. They don't even include them in anything that is happening in the political sector. You cannot be president. You cannot be the one deciding. You cannot be the army staff. You cannot be the police inspector general. You cannot be the naval inspector general. You cannot be the Air Force inspector general. You cannot be the okapata of many, many industries. No, your own is just to say where you will answer boy. Then upon all this, when they finish destroying your lives, they now go and bring debris and destructive properties to come and still dump in your same Biafra land. So that this will help to multiply your pains and penury the more. No, we reject it, and it is not what Biafran government will accept. So Biafran people should understand that the reason why these people are trying to bring whatever they call is to come and destroy Biafra land. Listen, because some of you are saying it is to come and blackmail us. It is to come and do us this. It is to come and destroy Biafra land. Listen, so that the Biafran cause will not attain the recognition and where it is supposed to be. Listen to them here. Listen to them.
That if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader.
First and foremost, they are worried. And that is one thing we need to be acknowledgeable of and to clap for the Biafran Prime Minister, the Biafran government, the Biafran Defense Forces. They said they are worried. Yes. They are worried that the handiwork of the Prime Minister is going to open the minds of everybody against the Nigerian terrorist government. If you are not doing anything that is useful in this life, that is puncturing the tire, that is destroying the point, that is destroying the foundation of the Zoological Republic of the Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, they cannot come to this National Assembly to sit down to discuss you. They cannot come to the National Assembly to make you a topic of discourse for over 3 days. For over 3 days, the Nigerian Senate were discussing about Biafra. Because of who? Simon Ekpa. And the Senate is worried. That is one thing you need to be happy about, that they are worried that Simon Ekpa has given them turmoil. They are worried that Simon Ekpa has brought Biafra to this very height. They are worried that Biafra is now a topic of discourse that they themselves have to sit down to convene and then talk about in the National Assembly. They were worried. And then they did not stop there. They now say, if we don't make a move, if we don't think of what to do, if we don't re-strategize and come up with a weapon of warfare of this kind of relocating the terrorist remnant from the north to the east to the Biafra land, then that means Simon Ekpa will succeed in bringing Biafra to limelight and restoring Biafra. So, bringing this remnant of terrorists to Biafra land is to destroy the Biafran actualization. That is one thing you need to understand. It is to destroy Biafran actualization. Because when you accept refugees as terrorists or terrorists as refugees, you have made your land to become vulnerable. You have created loopholes in your government and in your lands. You have given your lives to danger, because it's like the people that made ways and sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out to one Nigerian government. It is like one Nigerian terrorist government now making them the president of Nigeria, making them the Okakpatapatas in the Senate, making them the Okapatapatas in Abuja, making them the security guard of Aso Rock, their lives will be endangered. They will not sleep with their two eyes closed because they will come to remember, if these people could sell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out, our lives is at risk, so they can kill us anytime.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President,
It's a good thing that they are worried that the activities of Simon Ekpa, Biafran government, is giving them sleepless nights. That is what we had ever wanted it to be. When you fight your enemy and they become uncomfortable, it means you are hitting them on their balls. Yes. So Biafran people, you need to do what? Participate in IOU loan, participate in your liberation tax, participate in your weekly and monthly donations, participate in the Biafra raffle draw, yes, which is out. Visit the website and you will see all this. We want everyone to be part and parcel of it. Being part of your liberation and donating every dime that you have is the best thing that you can ever tell your children when Biafra is restored. That you were a full participant of everything that happened and how Biafra was restored. Above all, make your way to Finland to have your signature on the Biafra Declaration documents come 2nd of December 2024. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you that have been standing your ground and making donations from left, right, center. Yes, somebody asked a question. Do you take refugees when you are at war? No, you don't take refugees when you are at war, my sister. You don't. You don't make such mistake. You don't make such mistake by taking refugees. And this message now is to some of you, because somebody wrote something here. Let me read it. Let me see if I have some time to highlight some comments so that I will address some things. This person said, thanks so much, my honorable minister. I got angry and left a Biafra space hosted by Nonso because they are panicking and saying that they will be used against us, and I asked them question. Please, no Biafran should portray this ideology anymore. No Biafran should open a program and start portraying these fierce tactics. Because this fierce tactics is a method of subduing you and to winning you.
the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the...
Don't go to any program or don't host program to be instilling this disjointed fear or lack of confidence or lack of assurance in the name of speaking for the Biafran people, okay? Or talking to the Biafran people. The Biafran government is a government. We are not association. We are not a group. And we have the power of supremacy to speak and defend the Biafran people at anywhere. You understand me? I said at anywhere. So there is nothing like they will use this against this or use that against that. No. How many of the atrocities that one Nigeria has committed against you has United Nations hold them against you? All the genocide that is happening, all the war crimes that is ongoing. Abakari was indicted in the US and was to be taken to US. Nigerian government said they cannot take him and they will not release him to America. Now, Tinubu, that is seated as your president today, is a drug lord. And he has criminal cases in America. But today, they put him as your president of one Nigeria. And you guys are fanning. So, if you are speaking in the media, do not in any way use this thing that we see on the screen here. This is from it, okay? No fears of any kind. The Biafran government is not afraid of anybody or to answer any question against anybody. We tell you that the people they want to bring are terrorist species. And when we are fighting war, we do not take refugees from terrorists to come and take care of them. No. We don't have a place to even keep dead bodies of the terrorists. We don't have hospitals to keep dead bodies of terrorists. We don't have mortuaries to keep dead bodies of terrorists. We don't have prisons to keep dead bodies of terrorists or even live bodies of terrorists. We don't have anywhere to keep terrorists as prisoners, okay? We are not one Nigerian terrorist government. One Nigerian terrorist government, they have where they keep terrorists as prisoners. Later, they will now bring them in, rehabilitate them and reintegrate them into the army, the police, and the air force and the navy. We don't have such. Yes, we don't have it. Okay? We don't have such places, no provisions for that for terrorists. What we do is that when we hold any terrorist that has come to kill our women and children, we will kill you first because you come to kill our women and children. It is called self-defense. Self-determination is not a crime. I defend myself because you come to kill me. Yes. Take us to anywhere. We will answer you that you don't come to kill us and then we stand to fold our arms and watch at you. Have you ever seen a terrorist go to kill the president of America? And then the American government will absorb the terrorists and then make the terrorists part of the FBI of America. What happened to the person that tried to kill Donald Trump at the rally? What happened to him? Did they not kill him head on? The security forces that caught him, they smashed his head. They killed him head on. Now, have you gone to go and question the security forces and then take them to court and say, why must you kill a terrorist? Have you gone to say you must take the security forces that kill a terrorist that assassins and say, why must you kill the terrorists or why must you kill the assassin that came to kill people? So when you're talking about they will use it against me, use it against you, or United Nations will do this, go and ask United Nations, if I come to kill you as you are seated here now in this parliament, and then you struggle, you self-defense yourself, and then you are able to take the gun from me, what will you do to me? Will you now make me your personal security guard, or you will kill me because I had attempted to kill you? Will you sit down in your house and watch somebody come to kill your wife and rape your children and then kill your entire family? Then you wake up after you see that the person has killed your entire family, you still pick that person and say you will be my security guard, or you will be my chief security officer. I will be paying you. Your money is not even useful to the person. If your money was useful, the person would have only take your money and go away and would not take your life. But the person lets you know that your money is useless, that it is your life that he or she came to take. And he has come and gotten it. And you are talking about they will hold me accountable for defending myself. When you say that, it means you are a fool. They will hold you accountable for defending yourself. They will question you for defending yourself, for protecting yourself. Somebody bring a knife to come and choke you and kill you. You now collect the knife and kill the person. Then they say they must kill you because they must jail you because you defended yourself. You protected yourself. Go and ask the American Congress. Go and ask the FBI. Some of you used to watch some films that they show FBI. Have you ever seen where the FBI go for operation to go and ransack a place, maybe a drug cartel unit, or where they say they were terrorist camp? Then when they go there, they now go and absorb the terrorists to become part of the FBI. They take them home, they reintegrate them into the FBI, they make them one and part and parcel of them, and then they now become new FBI members, terrorists, which were fighting the same FBI to bring the FBI down. You now bring them and absorb them and make them part of the FBI. If you have seen it, let us know, because maybe we have not seen the report to that point. Maybe some of you have an intelligence report that goes higher than us. Let us know. So this is from propagating that nonsense that you say they will use it against you, they will use it against me, they use it against this, they will use it against that. This is from it, okay? What you should be telling Biafran people is who the people are that they want to bring. Let them know that they are terrorists. Let them know that they want to bring the terrorists to come and destabilize your land so that they will reckon your resolve, so that they can infiltrate your lands, so that they can go inside and destroy you small. They'll bring you into your community, and then they say they are refugees, they are vulnerables, they want to rehabilitate them. They keep them one place. Late in the night, they will circulate them, they will be going around from places to places while you are sleeping. The Foolani terrorists don't know what to sleep at night. When you are sleeping at night is when they can walk through the forest and the bushes and travel thousands of miles just to go and make sure they kill people. The people that you will see that in the daytime, they will be doing like zombie, like this, as if they want to die, as if they have not eaten for years, are the people that they will give weapon and knife in the night. They will ransack your entire community, go around, and then start killing people from houses to houses. And then you are shouting, vulnerable, refugee. When Biafra is fully restored, we will accept refugees with special refugee status as it is internationally recognized. Not when we are at war, when we are fighting for freedom, for self-defense, for self-preservation, to defend and to protect the Biafran people, and then you are going to bring a weapon of war, a weapon of warfare, a method of war to come and use to destroy us, and you expect us to fall for that ploy in the name of refugee, in the name of, oh, they will use international convention against you. Who so cares? Bring the international convention against Nigeria that has been killing us first. Let us see how good and how you men, you are, and now your brain is working. Okay? Thereafter, you can start speaking the others. Nonsense people, idiot. You know, idiots are people that don't care about whatever is happening. They only come to talk what they want to talk when they like. But when they are cutting off heads of babies and women and children, and pregnant women, cutting their wombs into two, removing the unborn baby, and removing the fetus, you will not see them coming to talk or say anything more. When they are ravaging the entire land, when they are kidnapping Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you will not hear them speak. When they invaded Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's house to kill him, and they killed over 100 people, you will not hear them speak. When they kill us in Mpo, over 150, you will not hear them speak. These are the people that you call idiots. When one Nigeria will come out and start with one strategy that they will use to cripple your existence, that is when you see them coming out to start speaking. But when they are killing you, you use your idiotic nature and then you keep quiet. When you want to see Simon Ekpa now speaking as the Biafran Prime Minister against the terrorists, that is when they will just come out and start to write all this nonsense. That's when you come out and you see them. Simon Ekpa, you're strangulating the economy. You're destroying this. You're destroying that. You're doing that. You're doing that. But when they were killing Biafrans, you did not come out to call Simon Ekpa. When they destroyed the properties of the Biafran people, you did not come out to call Simon Ekpa. You did not come out to call one Nigerian terrorist government. No. But when you see Simon Ekpa now stand up to speak against the people that have come to plague and destroy our lives, that is when you're shouting. When they kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, did you say anything? No, you did not say anything. You were so comfortable. You were clapping for one Nigeria and say, yes, let Nigeria kidnap him. Let them end Biafra so that they will not speak of Biafra again. Until when you now see that Simon Ekpa is alive, to restore the legacy and the blueprint of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, that is when you come out and start shouting, oh, Simon Ekpa, Simon Ekpa, Simon Ekpa. You're idiot. I want all of you listening to us to understand that this very Biafran government is the last one that will restore Biafra for the Biafran people. There is no other government that will come to fight again to say restore Biafra. This very one alone is to do the finish, and the Prime Minister is the one leading it. So ignore every other thing and do not be misguided and do not be deceived. And do not allow people to take you for granted. Take the message the way it is and let it go the way the Prime Minister gives it. Do not go and misinterpret it and misunderstand. Okay? Biafra is here and you have to take it the way the Prime Minister has brought it. Now, this is a human being jubilating and giving praises to Israel, who stood up to fight against the terrorists that have killed their people. And she's very bold to say it. But in your own case, you will be coming out to identify yourself as one Nigeria and say you are Nigeria when they are killing your people. And when you now see Simon Ekpa now standing up as a prime minister to fight for you and to kill the terrorists, you now be saying, oh, this is not the right way to do it. This is not the right way to go about it. You should have come to a different way. We should have done it this way. We should have done it this way. We should have done it this way. But this is somebody that is giving kudos to Israel government for fighting the terrorists that has made their lives useless for years. Una no go fit appreciate una own. Instead, una go dey look for the loopholes. The loopholes. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did this way, and I say, oh, you know, do it well. Ojukwu did this way. You are doing it the wrong way. You should have done it this way. Now, Simon, you are doing it the wrong way. No, turn it upside down. Go this way. Go that way. Until we cut our head and put inside it. No, that time has passed. Listen to somebody that is singing praises and giving kudos to Israel for having a savior in their prime minister that is standing their ground and able to face the terrorist that is coming to kill them. Because it's a terrorist that has ravaged them for years.
Hello, this is Brigitte Gabriel. Thank you, Israel, for doing the world a favor and eliminating the total leadership of Hezbollah, the most lethal terrorist organization in the world today. Israel eliminated those who killed our Marines in Lebanon and committed and organized terrorist attacks on our American interests across the world. Those who America has been looking for decades and unable to find or take out despite the millions of dollars of bounty on their heads. Thank you, Israel, on behalf of Lebanese in Lebanon and around the world, who would never dare come out publicly and thank you. On their behalf, I thank you. I am receiving thousands of messages on my social media from Lebanese rejoicing in and out of Lebanon at the hope that they can take their country back and build it again to be what it once was, Paris of the Middle East, before Hezbollah destroyed it. Hezbollah is a terrorist domestic organization funded by Iran, who is in complete control of Lebanon. Lebanon has not had a president for 2 years because Hezbollah does not want a Christian president in the country. They have terrorized the Lebanese people of all faith, especially the Christians. And before you start commenting on this video saying how much did AIPAC pay you to say this, let me make something very clear. AIPAC has never paid me a dime. They have never even invited me to speak at their conference or any of their meetings. The Israeli government doesn't pay me a dime. I speak out the way I do because of my conviction and my life experience. I remember a time when we lived in peace, Israelis and Lebanese of South Lebanon together. I used to drive my car to work between Lebanon and Israel. I had a home in Israel where I lived in Jerusalem during the week, and I would go back to Lebanon on the weekend to visit my parents in Marjayoun. We had the good fence where many Lebanese went to work in Israel daily. South Lebanon prospered. We used to take our friends visiting from Beirut in their Lebanese cars to Israel and visit Haifa, Tel Aviv, and Jerusalem. Many Lebanese married into Israel and vice versa. We even had a Lebanese consulate in Jerusalem, in Migdalay Megiddo, facing the Knesset, where I spent many evenings in 1984 and 1985. We had hope of peace plans because of the talks between the Lebanese and Israel at the time, until the founding of Hezbollah, where the whole country went downhill. A lot of Lebanese today live in Israel, who were driven out by Hezbollah, fearing for their lives, Christians, Muslims, and Druze. Since then, Lebanon had a brain drain as Hezbollah drove the Christians out, just like Europe had a brain drain after they drove their Jews out in World War II. Lebanon traded their innovators, their business builders, their professionals for bomb makers, glorified terrorists, and hate-driven monsters. Many people tell me, why don't you go back? Because Hezbollah wants my head on a platter. My only crime is that I want peace with Israel. Many Lebanese of all faith do not want war with Israel. We want peace. We want prosperity. We want to raise our children together, to grow up and love and accomplish and build and turn the Middle East into paradise. Lebanese leaders, I am calling on you now. Now is the time to seize the opportunity and make peace with Israel. Take back your country. I am calling on all Lebanese leaders and influencers across the world to come together. Let's do it. If Jordan, Egypt, UAE, and many others in the Middle East can have peace with Israel, why can't Lebanon? Now is the time. Contact me at info@brigittegabriel.com if you would like to be a part of this historic movement for peace. Let's make history together and bring peace to Lebanon.
All of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Yes, if you are depending on one night to kill the terrorists, you will all by one. And that is why the Biafran government has taken a stand against the terrorists. And those are the terrorists they want to bring into our lands in the name of rehabilitation camp. So, if we are depending on Nigeria and their strategies and tactics, you will all die one by one. We are not depending on them. We are depending on the Biafran government. And Biafran government has taken their stand, and our yes is yes, our A is A, and our go is go, our no is no, our stand is stand, and our no-go area is no-go area, and no terrorist camp, no rehabilitation camp, nothing of refugee camp, no absorption of terrorist refugees in Biafra land, because we are already at war. That is the stand of the Biafran government. No fears of any kind of anyone. If they like, they should go and jump and put themselves in between the transformers, and remember to do what? To switch on the feeder pillar so that they will get well. Baka, 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 baka. I salute all of you. Remain strong and resolute. Ndewo Umuchineke from here from me.
We are Biafrans. We can never be Nigerians. Ever Biafran, never Nigerian. Oh Biafra, our own land. Oh Biafra, our own land. We are Biafrans. We can never be Nigerians. Ever Biafran, never Nigerian. Oh Biafra, our own land. Oh Biafra, our own land. We are Biafrans. We can never be Nigerians. Ever Biafran, never Nigerian. Oh Biafra, our own land. Oh Biafra, our own. We are Biafrans. We can never be Nigerians.